But what does it do to motivate? Like, what's a practical example that you've gotten from users? Like, I would figure it's hard to tune this and hard to gauge because some people you bug them too much, they say leave me alone and they quit, and some people they want to be bugged and they don't mind and they understand. Like, look, it's all just part of it. You gotta do this. You can't just be a wimp and just give up all the time.
Well, let me say three things to that, but that doesn't solve the whole issue. If somebody would have solved this topic, we wouldn't have the obesity problem in the world. But three things to say to that. So first of all is we have a strong self-selection. So we as Freeletics, we very directly communicate that getting fit, getting to your goals does require a certain amount of work. We can make it very smart. We can make it much more efficient than others, but still there is some work required. And if you really are the person that deep within themselves does not have a small spark of energy saying, but once you have classified for that, and those are surprisingly a lot of people classify for that, who want to. Once you classify for that, we have found two things to be very motivating. One is just progress. As easy as it sounds, or simple as it sounds, is we design both our workouts, but also our fitness scoring, that if you work out, you will see continuous measurable progress. So it doesn't take 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months until you finally see something in the mirror or on the scale or wherever until you have that progress feeling of success. So that's one big thing. And the second big thing is that there is actually a lot more possibility to tailor the messaging to you than you think, because with more than 57 million users, you can imagine the amount of data that we have. And we can start, or we are having strong correlations between certain personality types, certain demographics, certain psychographics with the type of language and the type of content that they feel motivating. Again, it's not a failed state.
Yeah. If you can, I know a lot of this, it's proprietary, but what can you tell me about some of these skews that you see?
Well, this is extremely person dependent, but one very simple example is that you have a very strong correlation between the age of a person nowadays. So that's more of a generational thing, an age of a person and how much they want to be drill instructed versus we all call it massaged into a workout. That's one example, but that is only the very tip of the iceberg. You can imagine 10 other dimensions that cross-correlate with this.
So what, I guess older people don't want as harsh an instruction, or they do, or what's the skew tell you?
No, it's actually the opposite. And so our hypothesis for why we see that in the data is more that that older people are from a different generation. It's not necessarily their age, but their generational upbringing that was a bit more, hey, the world is as it is, and you have to change and you have to become better in order to be successful in the world. And now I'm super generalizing here, and so take this with a big grain of salt, but the newer generations sometimes feel a bit more as like, hey, the world has to change for me.
I understand. That makes sense. So who are the primary users then of your app? You have, millions and millions of them. How do they divide up? Are you able to say, like, what kind of demographics?
Yeah, so typically our users are somewhere between, 23 and 45. That's the majority. They have they're skewed towards male, and all of them have a level of intrinsic motivation. So it's not your typical, oh my God, I have never done any sport at all, and somehow want to lose weight 2-3 months, and then I know that I'm already going to go back to the couch. When it comes to geos, we're strongly European focused. And when it comes to the type of workout philosophy, I call it the 80-20 philosophy. So yes, it's strenuous and all of these kind of things, but we're not trying to build Mr. Olympia or Mr. Universe out of you. And we're not trying to get you down to 6% body fat and all of these kind of things, but more the question or the goal is, how can we get you to a good outcome, whether that's weight loss or a certain type of physique or anything like that, or just feeling better or a certain performance goal, but how can we get you to that outcome with the least possible amount of work?